Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Penalty Loop Podcast, a podcast about biathlon by Jordan Gottschalk from Penalty Loop and a regular guest, RJ Weiss from Biathlon Analytics.
Good morning, RJ.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Doing just fine. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Getting back in the rhythm. Not quite there yet, but I think last year I mentioned they started with the replays of the races are up pretty soon after they finish. So it's really tempting to just not look at any social media or whatever and pretend that at 9 a.m. that they're just starting. So, but yeah, it was. I know not everybody's crazy about starting the season with relays, but I actually really enjoy it because I don't know, they're a lot of fun to watch and maybe doesn't give you a full picture of where all the athletes are at this point, but they're just exciting to watch. And we had some expected results and some less expected results, I guess, if you want to call it that. But no, it was good. It was fun. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, we sort of gently reintroduced ourselves to the sport. Obviously, the men's and women's relays are a little more high pressure, but sort of, I just feel like it's a little more gentle way to get into it rather than jumping right into an individual or at the, a 20K or a 15K right off the start. So yeah, it was nice. Yeah. I was happy to be back, and I thought we had a pretty good weekend. Some fun stuff happened.
For sure.
One of the things I wanted to do this year was I wanted to ask you right off the top, and it's what are your three favorite things that happened? And these can be big things, little things, doesn't matter. I know we'll go through like the things that stood out to us or the big picture, big athletes, big names, all that stuff. But what were the three favorite moments for you from this weekend?
Favorite is...
And I can go first if you want. If you just
need a moment.
I'm
good. Well, I mean, it's hard not to think of Campbell. How during a race where, he's not in 11th place or whatever, he's like at second at the time, just right behind, I think it was Lucas Hofer. And he's tucking down and cheering on the crowd. And I think even at the exchange, he was already like pumping up the crowd and stuff. And other than knowing him and what a positive and fun character he is, I guess he brings something new and extra to biathlon as a whole. Like he makes it a bit more of a show. So he's really picking up on the American part of his heritage. But yeah, I'm sure he would have done the same as a Kiwi. But no, it's just it makes you smile. And even listening to the German broadcast with Dexy and Eric Lesser, they're having a good time with it. They really enjoy it and appreciate it, and they've been around for a while, so just nice to see a new I guess attitude a bit on the World Cup. And
you would say he does not have a stick up his ass.
Pardon me?
He made a joke about some European athletes having a stick up their butt. And so I said you would not say that he has a stick up his butt.
No. Although, well, let's not get into that. But
yeah.
So that was one. And for me, a highlight or super positive on a very personal level is that I'm just really excited that I understand German well enough to listen to the German broadcast, because they're just so knowledgeable, and I'll give you one example. At some point, who was it? I think it was a French girl. Doesn't really matter. They were coming into the stadium, and one of the athletes wobbled a little bit, and then Eric Lesser was explaining that often when they prepare the course at the last 100-meter stretch or the finish line, basically, or towards the finish line, the straight, that it's prepared a bit differently in the sense that they start at the, 100 meters before the finish line and really flatten it out. And that it's often a little bit different in the snow prepared before that section and on that section. So that he was like, yeah, it's different. You come from maybe some softer snow and then all of a sudden on this very hard pack. So that's why it's sometimes a bit of a wobble. Made me think too of Proits in Oslo, although that was also because the conditions in itself were maybe poor. But, that kind of insight from a former athlete is, I don't know, I find it really valuable and interesting. So it's just one of those moments where I'm just really happy that I can just watch it on the German broadcast.
That's really third, cool. I'm happy for you.
Yeah, no, and I'm
happy for us.
Actually, hey,
I'm happy for us that you get to bring that. You get to bring that to us.
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed the mustaches that we saw at numerous athletes, especially the late replacement for Hardbeck, Dajan Danuser. Mm-hmm. He has an awesome mustache, and I'm going to put that probably in the picture of the podcast because I don't know. I saw it and it brought a smile to my face. So when you said some happy moments, that's what I thought of. And I had something about Sebastian Samuelsson because when I watched him win the mixed relay, single mixed relay, sorry. Mm-hmm. I got a sense that he's often, how do you say that on the bad end of the stick?
Mm-hmm.
No, not.
Oh, he's got what I said earlier?
Well,
got a stick up his butt, or?
My thought was that he often is the fastest in his leg, but because of one or two people on his team that are not, top athletes, he still ends up at like a fourth place or whatever. So I actually did some analysis on that, but I'll get into that a little later.
Yeah, I think it was.
And a quick shout out to Logan because I think he had some pretty awesome races.
Yeah,
as well.
Logan was really nice. So yeah, I think Campbell was my favorite too. It was just it doesn't happen very often in my life, maybe ever really. I mean, that the United States halfway through a relay is tied for first with Norway. I mean, that's just like a very unusual thing, especially when the Norwegian men. So Max and Campbell, just that was awesome. That was really fun, and I'm sure we'll talk about them more later too. But so that I was really happy to see some of the friends we made this summer having good openings to their seasons. Camille Benet with the great close to the single mixed relay was just really cool. I mean, she came in and hit those last 5 shots, and an amazing job by Fiechner as well to also hit those shots, and came down to a final sprint. And you could just, Benet, I mean, she looked so happy in the finishing area.
I think that was Fiechner was the one that stumbled just a little bit coming into the final stretch. Yeah.
But it was nice to see her smiling, and then Caro Knoten had a really, really strong leg as well. It was fun to watch her on that last lap with Justine, and Justine, of course, is one of the strongest women around, and Knoten didn't give her an inch. And I know if you look at the course time for the whole leg, Justine beat her by probably 30 seconds. But just to have that tenacity to not give up any ground on that leg was really cool. So I was really happy for her, and especially like it was sort of a prove it moment for her coming off of a summer training on her own. And she talked a lot about that with us, training with new friends, different system, with her coaches, and clearly she's in a good spot. So that was fun. Mentioned Campbell already. We didn't get to see Nick because he got a little bit sick. He's hoping to be back for the individual, at least. But I mean, and Eustace looked, he was up front early in the relay as well. So really nice to see our friends locally having a good start to the season. And then I was also just happy to see Davidova and Vitolti back, and they're obviously coming back from their back issues, and both of them look excellent. So I think no concerns there as long as they're able to not stress the back too much. I got a little bit nervous when the Czech team was throwing athletes in the air, I did not want them to toss Mark Davidova too high.
Take it easy, people.
Yeah, exactly. Just leave her on the ground, please. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, clearly she's feeling good. That last sprint with Suvi and Davidova was actually quite fun. I just think those are two really, really fun athletes. So that was really good. And I think we're back. I mean, that's really my favorite thing, which is the cheap answer, but get real races to watch.
Yeah, and I was even thinking more about Campbell, like it, especially doing it when you're in second place. Like, of course, it's cool when you're, in 19th and you're just trying to entertain the crowd, but to do it in that stage in the race, at that position in the race, it's just something else. So
we can talk about his whole weekend because he looked great in the men's relay also. Yep. He had the fastest leg, I think it was the third leg for the men's relay. Yeah. And he was the fastest there. He was the fastest leg 2 for the mixed relay. We sort of joked about it, but he sort of pulled a Emilien Jacquelin, except he pulled it off, right? Because he, pushed the pace, went out there. Actually, when he hit those standing shots, because I think he had 2 reloads on the prone, he hit his standing shots, and it was him and Bowden, and I think Hofer and Perot were right there as well. My thought process was, based on what he told us in the interview, this is kind of perfect for him because he has a strong guy who's probably not going to ask him to do any work, and he can just sort of do everything he can to stay with him. Yeah, and he did, right? And they ended up, I think they put a second into Bowden, and they put a couple seconds into Hofer, which, it was a 6-kilometer lap, so a little bit shorter and punchier, but just kind of cool that he was able to do that. We've obviously seen Campbell do some fun things, some really cool things, but that I felt like, and I don't have the numbers to point it out, but it felt like the strongest we've seen him as a skier. But again, he wasn't having to do the work himself, but he stayed close to Bowden,
and he literally took it away from Jacquelin.
Yeah. So
Jacquelin was relatively calm and collected.
Yeah, so it was kind of neat. It was fun, and we'll see what he has up his sleeve for the rest of the season. But I think that just me as a fan of his, I was so pumped. I was so excited to see it. As an American, the fact that he could contend for medals at the Olympics is sort of unbelievable. And then I think just as a biathlon fan in general, to have this crazy character not only be a crazy character but be so good it's going to be a lot of fun.
But I mean, it goes a bit beyond that, I find, because we knew that he can challenge for medals.
Yeah,
but the whole team did so well. Like, how old is Jermaine? Like early 20s,
he's
right?
a year older than him. He's like 25, maybe.
Okay.
26. But they're in the same. Maybe he's 24. They're in the same age bracket.
Because didn't they came in 4th, right?
They came. Oh, for the mixed relay, for the men's relay they were 5th. For the mixed relay they were 6th. Which I just want to point this out. Contrary to what you'll see on social media, not the best mixed relay ever. Second best, but it's fine. They were very, very good.
Yeah, I mean, to start off the weekend with a flower ceremony, or to have a flower ceremony on the first, or twice, exactly.
Yeah,
that's.
Oh man, and I don't want, you mentioned Max. I don't want to overlook him because he was also very, very good in the first leg of the mixed relay. He was also very good in the men's relay. That is a young, powerful duo that they have.
Yeah, that was awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
Since we're talking about North American, I guess. Jasper Fleming, I think it's first time that he's actually on the first team or the World Cup team right off the bat, and how old is he again? 20, and he did amazing. Yes. Like only 2 reloads.
Yeah.
Logan had an amazing weekend with only 1 reload in the mixed relay, so that's good to see.
Logan was really good.
It's fun to see.
I mean, leading off, I think that the ski speed's got a little ways to go, but I think that's not a surprise. But I think that he's got to be pretty thrilled with what he was able to 1 reload, and Östersund, there were some pretty interesting shooting conditions we can talk about, especially on the men's relay, but overall, so he's got to be very happy with that.
Yeah, and also in the men's, he only had three spares, right? And Matt Strum, who we see occasionally on the range, and I know has been struggling to get on the team for a couple of years, and to just see his name on this list and only 4 spares, no penalty loops, and that's just makes me happy and in a way feel close to the team. Because there's some of these guys you see. Logan, we chatted with numerous times, like I said, Matt, we've seen on the range a number of times, and he's close friends with somebody in our group. It's just maybe like you said, the end result and the skiing is not quite where we want it to be, but it's all build up to the Olympics, right? Peaking at the Olympics.
Just the start. Where did they finish in the mixed relay? 16th? It's not bad.
Yeah. And then the men's, they were 18. Yeah.
And Shiloh Russo, she only had 1 reload. 3 reloads in the women's and 1 in the mixed. Also really her first, I mean, she was there last year, but it feels like her first real year with the improvement she showed over the summer.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a good way of putting it, but it feels like expectations were a little bit higher this year. Last year, happy to be there. This year, hoping to do something. So just nice to see.
Well, and I know it has a bit of a negative thing, but just to see them participate in the races, right? To have a relay and a mixed relay and men's relay, women's relay, mixed relay, single mix. That's just really good, and I'm just happy to see that.
And sort of the way I'm looking at it is that I'm looking at this as the starting point, ground zero, for this wave of Canadian biathlon, right? You got a bunch of young women, some young men coming up. And so this is going to be the starting point, and we'll see where it goes. We'll hopefully see some fun results this year, but I'm really looking 2, 3, 4 years down the road, and everything is experience. Big things that stood out to you. This is normally where we start, but anybody right off the top? Any teams?
Yeah, Lou looked amazing.
Oh my gosh!
Lou looked like somebody who didn't have a summer break and just continued from where she left off. And unfortunately, almost I would say the same for Tandrevold. Who, I said this before, it seems like the spark is not there. Like I always still in my head picture as and I don't mean it, I mean this fully positive, as sort of a giggly woman who's having fun and laughing a lot. And I haven't seen that for a long time. And the last year, of course, coming back after a season where she basically gave up her overall in the last race or two. But I was really hoping to see somebody with sort of a new, fresh start and maybe a bit of the spark that we know she has, but just wasn't there.
It's hard because we saw her look so good for so long 2 seasons ago. Stumbles down the stretch, and then the 2, I just can't get them out of my mind. The 2 test races before the season last year, she won both of them fairly easily and looked so good. And then immediately out of the gate, she's got the heart thing, and that sort of wrecked her season. Yeah. And now it feels like it's been a year and a half of her carrying this weight. And the other image of her I can't get out of my head from last year was, and you might remember this, after the pursuit in Oslo last year, when she just sat sort of like arms around her knees for like an hour, right? Clearly, she'd been crying because she didn't qualify for the mass start, and that was the end of her season. And I feel like like you said, we've seen a lot more of that version of Tandrevold than the fun, happy-go-lucky, almost like puppy dog energy that we sort of got used to for so long. And it's sad, right? It's just, you hate to see it. It was really nice to see Vitozzi. I mean, I think that's a really important person in her life. Go up and talk to her after the women's relay. I thought that was kind of cool. And then she had a little bit better day in the mixed relay. I mean, the prone shooting obviously was leaps and bounds better.
Yeah.
Only one penalty loop in the standing shooting, which, I mean, it's not great, but it was better. And I don't know the quality of the shots. I didn't see exactly where they hit, but, it was better. And she didn't. Do you remember the look she had on her face in the women's relay? Like, almost like, what just happened when she stood up from the mat? I think it was the prone shooting.
Yeah. And another thing I learned from watching the German broadcast is that she was all confused because she had used the 3 spares, but the digital sign above the targets that I think is more for the crowd, but I guess she looked on there and it showed only 2 spares.
Okay.
So I think that's what she looked to see if she had another spare, and then I guess in the motion put it on, but then again checked the board and went back and
that's what that was. Okay.
And I kind of, like, he didn't say it specifically. Eric Lesser was more saying about how his coach always said, don't look at any like digital scoreboards or whatever. Just look at your targets. That's your truth, right? And it made me think a little bit of that's just part of being not very confident, is that you look at your targets, but then you also look at the screen, and when somebody is in a very positive, confident position, you're like, I don't even need to look at that. Or you're like, oh, they're wrong because I know what I did. Where, maybe she's in the stage now where she doubts everything. So then as soon as you want to put your rifle back on and you want to double check your targets, and then you see that and you're like, what? So it all adds up to, I guess, the position she's in. And I even tried to look specifically for her during zeroing and stuff. And even there, it's a very, her expression is just very serious, which of course they're all serious, but she was still always, like you said, sparkly and laughing. And you just don't see that. And obviously we don't know what else is going on in her life. And we've brought up the, very close relationship she seemed to have with Tirolekov, and we don't see much of that back, and who knows. But it just, in the end, as a biathlon fan, it just makes me sad because you know what a positive person she can be and has been, and I just wish just for her that will come back, even if she's not gonna fight for the overall or whatever it is, but just to see her have fun again. Yeah, like we've seen before. I really hope that's gonna come back.
Well, and to put a positive spin on this to end, halfway through the mixed relay in her leg, she was still white in the podium competition. It was just right up until that standing shooting. She was right there. So, just got to get over that.
But like you said, the prone improved. So,
yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Man. We will keep our fingers crossed. We will remain hopeful. There is somebody I know who once said, I'd rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic and right. So in this case, I will remain optimistic and hopeful. Going back a second, you mentioned Lou. Lou was phenomenal. I specifically wanted to point out, I think she put in a move in the mixed relay on the second lap, and just sort of pulled away from Vitozzi and Tandrevold and put 5 or 6 seconds on him. And it didn't really seem like she was in top gear either. She just sort of, hey, look what I can do.
That's the worst part. If you're racing with her or against her, you're like, does it even take her any effort?
No.
Just a waste. It's
she gave some of it back before the range, but it really was just a, hey, look, I can do this. I can.
Yeah.
And for the relay, it gave her sort of a reload's worth of time to play with. And that was just, she's in peak form, and she's going to be a killer. Nothing
I think that's
from
the
this
scary
week.
part if she's not in peak form.
Oh, I know. Nothing from this week dissuades me from her as being the favorite for the overall, because she was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And truth be told, if she targets it, it might not be very close.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really awesome to see. Tobias must have been pretty excited to see Verbornikova come out strong.
Sidorvich,
and they were still. Oh, sorry.
I'm not sure Tobias would care too much about football. I'm sure he was happy for her though. But
well, that's actually something I really enjoyed too. How the Czech team, how excited they were at the end of the race there. But no, and I was, the Polish, after that start, maybe 10th place is not what he'd hoped for, but at the same time, I think that's still a very good result.
Mm-hmm.
And
very cool that both Sidorvich and Anna Gandler got to lead the race at one point in the women's relay. I thought that was really neat.
Yeah.
Just women that you don't normally
look generally pretty good.
Very good. Yeah.
Maybe Andexer didn't have her best race, but at the same time, that this is valuable experience, and to have her as the fourth leg was interesting. I don't know if that's sort of done on purpose to give her exposure to that position.
Well, she was the closing leg last year, I know, in Worlds, and had a really good anchor leg. We'll see if she stays there. But Gandler and Hauser looked great. I actually thought Zaduch, she had pretty good skiing. I mean, she's always been a good shooter, but she had pretty good skiing as well. So very exciting for that.
I thought it was interesting how Zaduch was pretty pissed off at Jean Richard. I don't know.
A little bit.
Accidents happen, but this was a really, really weird.
Yeah.
Like, Richard was on the left, and who took over from her? Michelon was on the left, and Hauser was on the right of Michelon, and not Andexer. Zaduch was kind of behind on the right side of Jean Richard, but then Richard cut to the right and tapped Michelon on her left shoulder, and then basically cutting off. It was really weird and very preventable, it seemed. But I know they're exhausted by that point and probably not thinking clear or straight, but just seemed like a really weird move when your teammate is kind of on the left, and didn't really seem like there was anybody more on the left.
Yeah. I have no idea.
It was like, what just, I had to look it back, because I was like, what just happened there? But
it's funny because Richard I think somebody posted, maybe it was even the IBU posted it on their Instagram account, and Richard gave herself a red card for it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Just joking, but I think she clearly she recognized as something that, oops, should not have done that.
Yeah. And again, like, I wouldn't even want to suggest that there's any bad intent or whatever. And you don't think very clearly when your battery is like 0.5%. So I get it, but it just looked really weird. And then the other exchange moment.
Yeah.
That was weird. I don't know if it was single mixed or mixed relay, but this, I think, Finnish guy handed off to girl, who then did a pretty big snowplow, and then only to just start going again. And because originally thought, maybe she didn't feel the exchange touch, so maybe she wanted to stop before the end of the exchange zone. But that, it was a very obvious touch handover. And the only thing I could see is that a lot of the men that exchange before them, they kind of turn off to the left towards the penalty loop, and then they take their skis off and cross the track. Kind of at that point. And there were some coming towards the side of the track to cross. And I don't know if she was just being polite and waiting for them to cross first, but it just seemed really odd. But I tried to look it up. I couldn't really find any information on it, but that was another one where I was like, this is just really, really weird.
Yeah, you picked up on it. I did not see that, but you sent me some the screenshots, and she really does do quite a snowplow to just erase her momentum. I felt bad for her.
And I also don't see anything that would sort of encourage her to go again. Like it's almost like she has a bit of people are crossing, I should stop. Oh no, I don't have to, and then goes on again. So it was interesting, but really irrelevant for the whole weekend, but still.
Yeah.
They did rather well, the finish, hey?
I was going to mention they had pretty nice mixed relay, finishing in fourth.
Yeah,
that nice. I really enjoyed the final group there. Obviously, all the drama for the podium was up ahead of them, but you had Suvi and Davidova and Gandler and there was, who else was it? Hannah.
Hannah looks
charging
strong.
up, and Deidre Irwin, where it was in this group. Yeah, so I thought it was fun that it came down to a sprint with Suvi and Davidova, and I think both of them looked very good. I think Suvi, no reason to believe that last year was a fluke. Davidova, I don't know if she's ready to win a race, but certainly looks like she's feeling good. The Czechia, they finished in, was it third? Yeah, in the women's relay, and fifth in the mixed relay. Awesome weekend for them. Finland in fourth in the Finland in fourth for the mixed relay, and I think they were in sixth for the women's relay. I don't have it right in front of me, but sixth.
I believe so. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, great opening rounds for both of those teams. I think that was. I'm really excited. It's fun when they are proving maybe not quite on the level of those upper teams, but it feels like the middle part of the women's biathlon and probably men's too, but women's biathlon especially, those middle teams, Switzerland and Finland and Czechia, their level is rising to the ability to sort of be a spoiler a little bit for the big teams, and not necessarily for fans. I think it's a lot more fun for fans when you see the Czechs getting in the mix too. But I think that can't just count on Sweden, Finland, and Norway and Germany taking all the podiums this year, as we've already seen, because the Czech team already took one of them.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. That seemed like more and more teams that if they just have a day where everything clicks, the weak team, the top teams that you just mentioned can't have an off day, because then they'll lose to those other teams, right? Yeah.
There are enough that the talent is just getting spread out, it's getting deeper. It was very fun. It was very fun to see them. But sort of being pests. You can throw the USA in that mix too with the men and the.
Oh yeah,
they're just getting in the way, messing things up for these other teams. You mentioned Hannah. Hannah had a very good week.
Yeah, no,
she had to do a lot of work, to be fair.
And talk about looking happy and relaxed.
Yep.
She had a little bit of that last year, but I really feel she's had a couple of years where she didn't look as relaxed and comfy. Where it feels like right now, even though her preparation, wasn't she like sick 3 times or something, or missed a couple?
She had knee injuries. Yeah,
She looked really, really good.
Yeah, I was very, very happy with what she was able to do.
And I really hope that Elvira is going to be there the next. If she had to pick a weekend to be sick, it's probably a good weekend to pick the ones with all the relays, because it doesn't impact her chances for the overall.
Yep, especially if she can race tomorrow. Yeah, that'd be excellent. And I think we mentioned Davidova and Vitozzi coming back. Len Jesblom was back from her. Last time we saw her was the end of the 23-24 season. Oh, I guess the World Championships that year. So really nice to see her back and healthy.
Talk about a smile. I think she still has. She must be in the top 3 of genuine smiles in the women's.
Absolutely.
Another thing, and I don't speak Swedish, but I understand just a tiny bit of it. But to see Mona Brorsson on the broadcast, more in the studio where they talk before and after the races, it's really good. And she seems to be having a lot of fun too. So, and then Bjorn Ferry,
she was always
it
always seemed when she was racing, she was happier for everyone else than she was for herself. And I don't mean that in a negative way, it just seemed like she was the first one to cheer everybody else. And so I think she knows the women still so well. She obviously is very smart, but also I think it's kind of, not that you want the commentators to just be cheerleaders, but I think it's nice for them to have a positive spin to be able to put on it too. But I don't speak Swedish, so I don't know exactly what she's saying. I'm only relying on comments that I see from her on social media.
Yeah.
But yeah.
No, I was going to say Bjorn Ferry because, some broadcasts, the German and the Norwegian stuff, they sometimes have hosts or commentators that are former athletes go do a loop on the track to show what it's like. And most of those that you see are, pretty laid back and slow. And I've seen some that they kind of speed it up and then have it normal speed in certain sections. But I think Bjorn Ferry was thinking he was in a race because he was just flying. So he was was quite impressive. And what impressed me even more that he seemed to be going very fast and he was still commentating while he was skiing, without sounding like he was out of breath or anything. So kudos.
Do you remember, was it 2 years ago? That was the last year. Sven Fischer was going, I think he had a GoPro or something, and he was during the race, he was following the
start, right?
athletes. Yeah. And I made a comment. I was like, man, that cameraman's doing a great job. And you were like, yeah, it's Sven Fischer. I was like, oh, okay. No wonder.
But, I mean, no offense to Sven Fischer, but you would think they would be able to find somebody who is closer to his retirement age.
Yeah. Eric Lesser.
I mean, he did amazing.
Yeah,
it's where you think of someone like Lesser or Pfeiffer, or they might be
Franzi's husband, whose name I cannot remember off the top of my head.
Oh, yeah, I'm with you there.
Shemp.
But anyway, it was those are the things that I think are fun to see because here in North America, we're very lucky with having a free broadcast on the Eurovision.
Absolutely.
But, it's really like, the race just started and then they have the commentary and then the race is done and you go out and you don't see any, studio discussions or analysis. Nope. Eric Lesser went through a whole analysis of the race after and just, for the biathlon nuts, it's cool to have that additional information. But
certified nutcase right there, Mr. RJ. What did you think of the Italians?
I was very impressed with Hanna Augenthaler. I'm sure she has raced in that 4th spot before, but it's not the first name you think of in a women's relay to be in leg 4. But she held her own, did really well. And, Fitozzi had that one miss where she kind of lost the chance for a gold, I guess. But, I mean, they look very, very strong, solid.
Yeah, I thought that,
I didn't really see much of the men, to be honest.
No, not as much. And I think that Biona had a rough shooting for the men, and Jacomel didn't. He obviously had a good leg, I think, for the men's relay, but by that point it was already done. We talked about Veer looking awesome in the test races, and nothing dissuades me from that. Still does, yeah. I think in the mixed relay, it might have been she lost some time in the third lap, but it sounds like she was also cramping. So maybe just just didn't have the power to follow. It's not like she lost a ton of time. Handed off 10 seconds back of Justine and Caroline. So obviously Italy was still right in it. Vitozzi looked excellent. I think that she'll be right in there. Hannah, you mentioned Auchenthaler.
That was a good result. Yeah.
I
enjoy also seeing Lucas Hofer still.
Oh my gosh. I
right up there.
I think that was probably the best I've seen him in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have just been a one race thing. It might have been that I was thinking specifically the mixed relay, but the men's relay as well.
Yeah.
Looks like I think the Italians are in good shape. They're not going to be as deep as the French or the Swedes or the Norwegians, but I think that the top, Jacquemelle, Veer, Vitozzi, their mixed relay team, I don't think Hofer is going to fight for a medal, but I think that the relay team on the right day could be feisty. I think that they are going to be in contention multiple days when we get to Milan. And that is, after 2 days of racing on the season, we still have 2.5 months to get there, but I think that's going to happen.
Yeah. Well, it's, because I think for the relays, maybe their men's team is the weakest.
Yeah, for sure.
Considering, but I think, Biona and Braunhofer, they're not going to throw you back, like on a normal day, they're not going to throw you back 10 places.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe Biona did this time with his 3 penalty loops, but I think generally they'll be able to keep you in a place where Jacquemelle and Luki can, bring you up to medals.
Yeah.
And that's where, I always feel with the Swedish team, I think the gap between Ponsiloma and Samuelsson and then the other two is just so big. And then, it doesn't help when Ponsiloma is also having one of his not so good shooting days.
It's so funny. I look at it, and after the first leg, Sweden was 1 minute and 56 seconds behind, as Brandt had 3 penalty loops. Nelin cut that back to 1 minute and 52 seconds. So cut 4 seconds off the lead. To be fair, Isaac Frey had a really great second leg, and he moved them up several positions. But then Ponsiloma cuts that down to 1 minute and 26 seconds and moves them up significantly, even with 5 extra rounds. And Samuelsson, 1 extra round, moves them all the way up to the podium. And it just, we've seen it happen so many times. And those two, well, they're sensational, but yeah.
Yeah. No, so I actually looked at Samuelsson in all the relays, not the single mixed, but any relay that he had one leg in.
Mm-hmm.
So his individual leg ranking, and I go back from the most recent to older, 1, 4, 1, 2, 1, 3, 5, 4, 5, 10, 3, 1, 3, 2, 8, and I can go on, but you get the idea, and
yeah,
for the majority of that time, he's doing the fourth leg, and assuming he's racing the best competitors. And then I also looked at the position change that he did. So if the team came to the exchange in fourth, and he came out of his exchange in second, and obviously made 2 places up.
Mm-hmm.
So going through that again from most recent to older, he gained 1 place, 2 place, 3 places, 1 place, 4, 0, 0. Gained 9 places, 2 places, lost 1 place, -3, or like gained 3, gained 6, gained 1, gained 2. So there's actually 2 races in this list that goes back to the 2021 season. He's had 2 races where he gave up places. And I think one was where, I don't know if you remember, where he had that loose barrel incident where his screws. I'm pretty sure that was in a relay. And then I also looked at the time gained, which is, always a bit of a, so it looks at, the team behind the lead when he takes over, and then the team behind the lead when he finishes. And the caveat with that is, like, for example, not the last race, but the race before, where the team came in 7th, he gave up 63 seconds. But, this is probably one of those races. I don't remember it exactly, but it's probably one of those races where it's just no use, or maybe
you're so far back
anymore because you're so far behind. But yeah, so he gained just over a minute this weekend, and then he lost over a minute in the previous race last season. And then if I go back in time, he gained almost a minute. He gained 3 seconds, 10 seconds, lost almost 40, then gained just a little bit. He had another big loss. But yeah, the majority he is gaining time. And again, I would have to do some further analysis on what situation he was in. Because I had written that down originally as one of my happy moments to see him win with Halvorsen. But then single mix is a little bit different. But I always and I was even happy for him for pulling off the 3rd place in the men's relay. Just because like you said, when Ponsiluoma and Samuelsson take over, no matter what order, it always feels like such a hopeless situation, and they still, you can never write them out or write them off, and it feels like if they had 2 teammates that were like, every now and then you see it where the 2 teammates don't have big mistakes and they just do a solid race, then that's almost good enough for Ponsi and Samuelsson to go for gold.
I know.
But yeah, when a race is like this where they get in, I don't know what rank they were in when Ponsiluoma took over. I know you just mentioned it, I think, but it just must be so demotivating when, you still have to go and you come in 12th and you're like 2 minutes behind. So I was just happy for him that he they got the bronze in the men's, and then he won the single mixed. So I don't know, good relay weekend for him, and I'm really happy for him.
Yeah, like you said, every time they take over, they've got this enormous mountain to climb, and the fact that they do it as often as they do is actually quite remarkable. So I'm because I'm impressed. I also think that him and Ella Halvorsen apparently is like a golden single mixed relay team. I mean, those 2 together, I mean, they look phenomenal. And to be fair, I don't think that every other nation had their peak team out there. Norway with Lagreit and Czechia, that was definitely a top team. I don't think that Fabien Claude and Camille Benet is their top team. I mean, to be fair, they finished in 3rd, but I just think that Ella Halvorsen and this Sebbe Samuelsson are like tailor-made for that. Just go flying around, and it's good. I
always find it unfortunate that they put those on the same day for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, would it be really that hard to start on Friday?
Yeah.
Do like the single mixed on Friday, relay Saturday, and then a mixed relay on Sunday? I mean, it's tough for those that do the 3 races, but at least you have the option, right?
Yeah. You don't have to run everybody out there.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on the German weekend? I'm kind of curious what you have to say, but also if any of the German TV guys had any insight?
Well, I'll almost quote Eric Lesser because I think he said it right. Like, it was a solid weekend, but if you look at the results, it's not where they should have been or where you want them to be, if you put it differently. Preuss was not convincing. Kochan obviously had a rough start. Vogt was really good. No misses, but also not the fastest skier. So, yeah, I think overall, still, if you look back at the results, probably disappointing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they went 11th in the women's relay, 4th in the men's. They were 30-ish seconds behind Sweden. They were 4th in the single mixed relay with that final sprint. And then they were 8th in the mixed relay.
Yeah. Yeah, I was a little disappointed with Tenheimer. I had really good hopes for her to come out flying, but didn't happen so far. But
no. I'm really curious. I'm really curious about Preuss. Was that just a case of we're so far behind on the last leg and whatever, just let it go? Because she looks so good. I get it. Normal caveat. The test race is an Obertiliac. That was not the real thing, but she was like blowing the doors off people out there. And then this weekend, or on the women's relay, just did not.
And do you think that would also lead to maybe less focus on the range?
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, that's what I was wondering, is that by the time she took over, Grotian had the 2 penalty loops. They really weren't in it. She had one miss or one reload on the prone, and then did she get to the standing and just was like, I think it was cold and wet and rainy, and I would wonder how much of there was, I'm not really focused. I don't know. She's a pro. She doesn't usually do that, but I just wonder.
See, I definitely think ski time would reflect of, we're so far behind. I'm not going to, go all out and save my energy. But for the shooting, it's still, I'd be a bit more concerned about that because I think at that level, you're not, as you would almost think, especially when you're not skiing 100%, that you should, at least at your normal level.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow.
It could be lack of focus. Some athletes, they just need that, being in first with your 2 competitors right next to you to have the best performance. But
well, and what can possibly compare to Oslo last year? Stay side by side with, well, maybe not side by side, but just she and Lou and shooting for the the overall. Nothing can compare. She just can't get up for it anymore. But I disappointing weekend. I think overall there were some, like I think you mentioned, some good moments. Vogt shot well, even if she didn't ski amazingly well. I thought Hetty Waltz did not look bad at all. Lucas Frotcher and was fine. I mean, in the single mixed relay, or in the single mixed, and Eustace had a really good leg in the mixed relay, and that is kind of about.
Was that where we had the 2+ minute standing shoot though?
Was it the mixed? No, it couldn't have been, because he was in relay. He was in first place, right?
The men's relay?
Oh, maybe in the men's relay he did, but in the mixed he was in first place. He had
one of those. I don't know if you remember
Veer moments.
Veer, that he waited for the wind to die down, and then it just never really died down. And he was saying in the interview after that, it's very tempting to then be like, okay, well, just going to rattle them off then because I've been waiting so long. But then he's like, well, but then I've also, the wait didn't pay off. Yeah. So at least he came out without penalty loops. But it's always, where do you get to the point in waiting for better wind conditions that it's maybe better to just shoot and risk that you miss? Well, obviously it's about 25 seconds. If you wait more than 25 seconds, you might be better off taking the risk of shooting.
1 minute and 53 seconds. And he had three reloads in there as well. So that was maybe not ideal.
But it's interesting. I find it interesting from a analytics perspective, I guess, and how much do coaches and athletes talk about that? It's like, okay, what if the conditions are, pretty good, and then you just happen to come in with like a big gust of wind?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you wait? And obviously, they don't have a stopwatch or anything to be like, okay, well, if I'm getting up to 25 seconds, so I better just fire. Of course, it doesn't work that way, but there must be sort of a break-even point of, if you're waiting longer than this, just take the risk and try to do the best you can, knowing that it may not be perfect, but still better than waiting it out.
I also wanted to, not to step on your point there, I think we had a really good discussion with Tobias about that as well, about training for wind and how to handle it. And that's top on my mind because I just listened to that this morning. So I think that's definitely a really interesting thought. And like, how do you balance, at some point you're sort of committed. You better get those targets down. And that generates maybe extra pressure, but it's more like, I wonder if that's discussed, not so much about what to do with different wind, but more like if you choose to wait out the wind gusts, how long does it make sense to wait? Well,
I haven't done the calculation, but I'm sure there's some analysis you can do where there's sort of a cutoff and say, okay, just accept it and go for it, take the risk.
And I think it was Tobias who said that you stand there for 3 seconds and you feel like it's been 30. Right. Yeah. And so then keeping that in mind too, for how long you stand there. I did want to mention Riet Mueller and Philip Navroth, who I thought had really good,
Navroth,
really good relays.
He stood out to me.
Yeah, it was really nice. I hadn't seen that from him. I don't know if ever, and that was really good to see. So hopefully that's the first sign. I shouldn't say that. He's won a race before, so he's clearly had high level, but hopefully at least those guys are ready to roll.
Good to see Hauser and Ader in the top 6 again.
Yes. Can't stop them. Hilarious biathlon. Maybe it was Biathlon World or maybe it was Austria. Did a really funny video of, and I know they did that dumb 6-7 joke, which drives me nuts, but it's because I'm old. But they made fun of Hauser and Ader being old, and then the other mixed relay team was so much younger than them. I just thought that was funny. But I also saw a really funny picture. I think it was from Hauser and Ader after the race. I think they went out and got cheeseburgers, and they look like they were having a really great day. So another top 6 for them, and celebrate with some big juicy cheeseburgers. I honestly, there's no better way to spend a Sunday.
Yeah, it's... Sorry,
we already mentioned Gandler. Had a really good day for Austria. Anna Jupa, I thought, had some moments. Komets looked pretty good too. Also, so I just think that the Austrian team, I think they're going to be fun this year.
Yeah, Hauser and Ader still have a while to go because they're 73 combined years of age, and the mixed relay team was 110.
We'll be seeing those guys for a bit.
For the same people. That's 55
average age. Yeah. Norwegians, we didn't really talk about them. We're going to talk about them enough this year, but we talked about Knoten.
Well, I think the women really we talked about. But Sturla, I don't know. He's just one of those. Well, obviously he was the best in the world, but he still kind of doesn't stand out.
Yeah.
But I mean, he had obviously a very solid race in the men's relay, and just quickly looking up because I don't recall. He did the man's finished with.
He did the single miss with Marin Shikaida.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep. And they finished in second.
Yeah.
He made a really good, so he, I think it was the prone shooting. He had, I think, a really fast prone shooting to try to narrow the gap on Fabian Claude. Was it Fabian Claude? Or no, it was on Samuelson. Excuse me, on Samuelson. And he got within a handful of seconds, but then the gap stretched out again on the standing shoot, and then Ella Halverson took it home. But it was a really savvy move, I thought, knowing that he couldn't match Samuelson on skiing.
Totally,
Said, well, I'm just gonna go for this. I think it was like 20 seconds or 21 seconds for his prone shoot. So it was pretty fun to see him do that, just to make that decision on the fly. And I think that speaks to his maturity, to be able to,
and confidence, and
exactly, to do that.
Yeah.
I agree. I think it's funny. He's a quiet athlete, but he's finished like second, fourth, and first overall the last 5 years. And I still he's not flashy like JT or even like Quinton Fiolmaye can do some flashy things, but he's always there.
Yeah. Well, and we talked about this before too. He never seems to have a relay where he has 3 reloads and 2 penalty loops.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like it's never his what do you say that his bottom?
Yeah, his
level
floor
still.
Yeah,
his floor is just really high.
Yep. Yeah. I thought,
and even
Martin
in skiing,
Ulo,
like he's not very often going to be the fastest skier, but he'll probably be in the top 10.
Yes, totally agree. Yeah. Yeah, very high floor. And he might not win as many races as some other guys, but he's going to finish on the podium a whole heck of a lot of times.
Yeah. He's going to have a lot of flowers at the end of the season. That's
yeah, that's true. Martin Uldal, I thought, was very good, getting them off to a good start. I really no weakness there. Fry was perfect on the range.
Yeah.
And really, I mean, he wasn't as fast on the tracks, but there was really no lack of confidence from him. Christensen made things interesting unnecessarily with the penalty loop, but they turned it on late in the race, and I thought that aside from the penalty loop, pretty big issue, he looked excellent, and I think he just needed a little stress in his life. I thought that I'm going to stand on what I said, 10 toes down, as the kids say, about I didn't think that it was Norway's A team for the mixed relay with Stromsheim and Boten. I think they were just trying to get everyone in the race this weekend. And even with those guys, they still were fighting for the win as of the last shoot. So I think that as far as Norwegian fans go, don't worry, guys. I think you guys are going to be in there. The French will still be the favorites, but I've got no worries. No worries.
I mean, obviously, Tandrevold didn't do great on that last shooting, but I also don't think that would have really made a difference in the end.
No, Lou's Lou, right? Lou was
no,
Lou
but even
was going to have
Italy, like they're still.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Seconds.
Yeah.
They're 40 seconds behind, so even if she wouldn't have had the penalty loop, it still wouldn't have.
Yeah, no, I tend to agree. I think so. I think Norway's probably not satisfied coming out of this weekend. With only one win, but I'm not hitting any alarms yet.
No.
Anybody else thought out? Any other teams?
No, I was just thinking of Doro. I didn't hear that before, that she has announced that she will retire after Antholz and not travel to the other 3 events after, at least not as an athlete.
Sure. Yeah. I that makes me sad to hear. We'll see. Maybe if she wins the individual and then does really well in the individual and where Ruhpolding, and she's got a chance to win the Globe, she'll come back for one more go at it. But I don't know. I can dream.
Yeah. Are you also sad about Mazet leaving?
Of course I am. I generally think that he's a good person. I from what I know of it, I appreciate his coaching style. The guys really seem to like him. And he's kind of just a guy gotta have out there. We'll see where he pops up next. I can't imagine he's done coaching after this season. it's going to be strange not seeing
I think
him
after the
Norwegian.
season, at least for 1 year, I would think he will be.
He'll go sit on his estate and probably do some TV interviews and make some money that way. I don't think he needs the cash. I think he's going to be just fine.
Who knows? Maybe he did it for free all these years.
Just give me free lollipops. I'm good to go.
I had to laugh so hard because there's the, you know how the Bow brothers did that La Vita?
Yes. Yeah.
So they actually still do an ad now where I think it's JT Bow first playing with his kids and chasing them around and that kind of thing. And then he comes to the room with Tarje with a baby on his arm, and they're like, oh, I think this is harder than biathlon. Gut, dass es La Vita gibt. It's already interesting to hear them say it in German.
Yeah. That's funny.
It just still makes me chuckle that they're not quite completely gone yet.
No, and we'll see them. I think they're going to do some TV stuff this year, right? Especially the Olympics. They already said.
Yeah. Well, it's hard. It would be hard to imagine them not being there, but.
Just last couple things I wanted to mention. We mentioned the Swiss a little bit already, but they were solid this week. But I thought James Pakal, with his first relay, looked nice. Said that he had some difficulty translating over from roller skis to snow skis, but I was appreciative of. I appreciate what he did out there.
Well, and the mentioned Mr. Mustache,
yes,
Danuser.
Coming in cold.
Well, no, he came in hot because apparently he was doing some high intensity training, and coach yelled from the side, "Stop! You gotta come over and help us out." So,
yep, yeah,
and he did, considering that he really didn't know until pretty much the last minute. He did quite well.
Oh yeah, he really did. Maybe that's the key. Just don't tell him he's in the relay until the last minute.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah,
no stress. Amy Becerga looked pretty good in the first leg for the women's relay. I think she'll have another good year, I think. Ada Gasparin looked pretty good also. Unrelated, but the Estonian skiing looked pretty good. I thought Regina Ermets looked excellent. The Estonian men. That's all I got. I think we're last thing. Mikhail Roche. That Instagram he did where he put the filters on the coaches and the athletes.
Oh my God.
I sent that to you. I was laughing so hard. Like, I think my parents thought I was gonna just pass out. So if you're listening, thank you for doing that. That was it really made my Sunday.
Yeah. I mean, I love those YouTube videos where people, like when they have older parents or grandparents and they
oh yes
they show it to them. That's already hilarious, but to see it on these coaches is
so funny.
I was curious though because he put like a Pinocchio nose on the on Isefigner, the coach of the Swiss.
Oh no. Yeah.
And you know that nose is growing when they're lying, right? So was there a hidden message under there? I'm curious.
I hope not. I'm not, but I'm not going to touch that one.
I would presume not. Yeah, no. No, it was hilarious.
Yeah. All right. We have 2 days of racing down. We got a whole bunch more to go. We've already spent an hour, so we'll let you go.
Get used to it.
Plenty to keep you interested this week, and then we'll be back on Monday.
Okay. Sounds good. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye.